Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast. We're at season 7, episode 9. Honestly, this was a good episode to watch live and record right
Yeah,
after because there wasn't a lot happening.
yes, but it's like we're back to old school summer house.
Yeah, this was fun. It was
Mm-hmm.
flirty. It was
Lots of
everything we
people,
needed.
lots of
Lots of people.
spidings.
Yeah, it was a good episode. Okay, before we get into the episode, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta Vanderpump Rules podcast, which I just recommended to my sister because she texted me and asked, "What's your podcast called?" And I said, "Oh my God, are you gonna watch Vanderpump
Whoa.
Rules?" And she never answered. So I don't know what she's doing with it, but check it out, everyone. We also have One Season Wonders on a forever hiatus, but we did two really
You
good
know
shows.
what?
So
We'll come back to it in due time, but there's some good stuff on there.
once all these shows get canceled, that's our only podcast.
That's our long term, like
Please,
our
our
retirement.
forever.
Yeah.
Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I think I do need to start posting the tweets the day we release the episode so that more people have time to like watch the episode. I've decided
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do. And follow us on or join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our really fun pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about literally whatever we want. We went to the buzzer today, so you get a full like 40 minutes almost of us talking about nonsense. Um, Also, you'll get any episodes we record early, including this one. We are literally recording this right after the show. It's not going to
Yeah.
drop until fucking
Friday.
Friday. Holy shit. So you could have had this way before.
The next 2 weeks are going to be like the prime for our patrons.
We're spitting those out so immediate. You're not even going to have time to blink. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus you get access to our after shows that we do when we go back and we watch old seasons, which eventually we will do. We just Bravo keeps releasing live seasons. I don't know how these people do it. I'm exhausted. Can't imagine they're not exhausted.
That's so true. Like they do hours of filming. We
like
just
Paige and Sarah
chat.
on Watch What Happens Live right now. I want to go to bed. Although they don't have like real jobs to wake up for, I guess.
Yeah,
Not
they
like
just
9 to 5s.
they're
still
like we work
jobs.
40 hours a week. They do it all within 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, and everything they do is filmed, and they receive a lot of hate from the public.
Yeah.
Not that we don't, because people always hate on me, but
Are we Paige and Sarah?
I am Paige because we are Scorpio queens. I'm actually Sheena, everyone. Just kidding. So also we will say your name on the podcast for $2 a month. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelly, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Ruby, Taylor, and Tiffany. Holy shit. One day.
Dang.
Oh my God.
I've been having a lot of DMs about like the community that our shows have formed, and it's been really, really fun. Like
people do it. Not enough people are like occasionally we get people like love your take, but like
I've been seeing the messages that are like talking about how fun this has been, and we feel the exact same way. And like every time you read that Patreon list, I'm like, this is really freaking cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop bitching about doing this. It's worth it. It's worth it.
I've like been in a really positive mood about this lately. Not that I like am in an ever negative mood, but sometimes like after weeks of doing it, it's like you're not at your prime, and I've got my hype back.
I've kind of decided once the final reunion for I think Vanderpump will probably last the longest. I'm gonna soft launch this on my Instagram, be like soft launch, which I've done before.
I'll do the same.
We have both done before because we like soft launch, but no one knows when we tag out Vanderpasta what the fuck that is. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live shows, you get to give us your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns, and we will read them live on the podcast. Obviously, when we do this right after the episode, we don't get as many responses because not everyone watches live. We normally don't. But we will reread that, or we will read them.
So don't forget to post anyways.
Yes, if you post about a previous episode, we will read it on the following episode at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So, haha, for the next 2 weeks, that's what's going to happen, everyone.
Lots of, post thoughts.
Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode. So, because we had like literally zero time and no one commented anything, Meredith, you know what we're gonna do? You're gonna tell me when to stop, and I'm just gonna start scrolling.
I've missed this about.
Okay, so this is a
all right,
really
ready?
No. Wait, I want to put them all on one screen so it's even.
Okay.
Hang on.
We do this for
Okay.
not live seasons lately to make it easier.
And one more.
It's been really fun because then I feel like I get.
Yeah, I leave Meredith out of all the decision making. So if you have an issue, please write. Come in. What do I always say? Come to my DMs. Yell at me. Okay,
Yeah.
Meredith, I'm
All right.
going.
Stop.
We got Kelly, who I think was last time. Let me check. Oh my God, it was Kelly. Kelly, you got 2 in a row. That one's on Meredith. I did not pick this one. So if you guys want to like revolt, it's on Meredith this
You
time.
know what?
Leave me a 5-star review.
Welcome to Meredith's patron of the episode.
Yeah, Meredith never picks, so we're just gonna have to listen. Who knows? Whatever. Goodbye. Who cares? Anyway, I'm done. I'm so scared someone's gonna be like, "How dare Meredith?"
No, they love me. They love me.
They hate me. I know. Okay, so let's get into the episode.
Let's do it.
Everyone, bear with me with these notes. Okay, so previously on Summer House, it's Kyle's birthday. He's turning 40. We have this Western party. Kyle's feeling a certain way because he's like old now. But like in a good way. He's like not even that old. 40 is pretty young still.
He really isn't. He's a young soul.
But when you're turning these ages, I feel like we all hit that like, oh no, we're 40. Okay, Kory's here. Sierra would love to hook up with Kory, but Sam also thinks Kory's hot. Craig and Paige are figuring out the next chapter. Danielle and Lindsay are fighting, and there's tension in the house. Lindsay's with the guy that makes her happy, and Carl's gonna propose to Lindsay. So we pick up right where we left off. Tis Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Carl and Kyle are setting up for the party. They're talking about the proposal. It's in basically 4 weeks. Carl has the ring. He just needs to go pick it up. And he needs to talk to Lindsay's dad, just like Kyle did when he talked to Amanda's dad. But at that time, Amanda's dad hated Kyle because he just found out that Kyle cheated on Amanda. Ooh. We just watched that episode.
We literally just watched this season right before starting like season 7 here.
Yeah.
It was cool to see the flashbacks, but like, man, very stressful time.
So they hug. And Carl's, he's going to do what feels right. This is the biggest decision of his life. He's happy. He wants to take the next step with his best friend. And he knows it's quick, but he sees a future with Lindsay. So
when he talks like this, it makes me feel more like their relationship is more normal.
Yes, it makes sense that Carl is also like, I know it's quick, but like, this is my best friend. I see a future. Then like, fine. Yeah. But I feel like they're up in arms when they're like, everyone else says it's quick. And it's like, compared to some standards, it is, but you guys have known each other for a very long time.
You do have this different leg up. Like we can discuss all the factors and put all the thoughts out there.
Yes. So Kyle tells him people are going to say it's too soon, but Carl's ready for that.
And the shot cuts to Danielle as the voiceover says that. I was like, Jesus.
Rough. So it's 11:27 a.m. Sierra, Paige, and Maya are in their room. We got to figure out what Kory thinks about Sam and thinks about Sierra. And Sierra's like, listen, she wants a relationship. She's not here for a summer fling. She just got done with one idiot. She doesn't want another idiot. But Kory's like friends with a lot of idiots. So like maybe he's an idiot, but hopefully not. He's friends with Craig, so I mean,
even if I didn't know Kory and Sam were dating, I would feel like, yeah, this isn't gonna happen.
No, I just feel like they're very different people.
Yeah, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
If it was gonna happen, it probably would have happened in Winter House, like, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, Kory clearly has a type. Like,
he does.
All these people have types. If you look at them, like, Kory has a type. Luke, we figured out, has a type because he's dating someone who looks just like Sierra and like a mix of Sierra and Ashley from Potomac.
Yeah.
Who is it from The Bachelor?
Tayshia
from The Bachelor. I don't watch. Lindsay has his type because if you put Carl and Everett back to back, I don't know which is which.
Even Stravy a little bit like follows that.
If Stravy was like
a little
taller, yeah, for sure. Okay, so They go wake up Kory and Craig. Paige asks Craig if he wants to do the tortilla challenge, but Craig instead just gets slapped by the girls, and then they eat the tortillas, which is super gross, but whatever. So now it's 12:04 p.m. We're setting up for Kyle's party. We get a look back at all of Kyle's theme parties in the past. We had like the Boston Tea Party.
God, when they threw tea into the pool and had to get it cleaned.
Horrible. Ooh. They had that Greek god one.
Oh, it was like the frat kind of theme.
Yeah, toga party.
Don't ever like grow up.
They had wild ones. Kyle's party is always a theme.
Yeah.
So some guy delivers 40 barrels of hay, which seems like a waste. I don't know what we're doing with this hay.
They are really putting in the work during this setup. Like,
yeah,
it is kind of stressing me out how much is going into this, and that it's noon.
I was more stressed as to like, how do we clean up 40 barrels of hay? Like, what does he come back to pick them up?
No, you just let that be. You let it like slowly. I mean, the ones that are baled
disintegrate? What happened?
The ones that are baled, I'm sure they just put in front of the like garage or something, but there's some of it that ends up getting spread out. Like, you just let that be.
Well, yeah, I meant the barrels. What the fuck do you do with those? Luke takes them home to Minnesota.
You mean bales?
The barrels of hay. That's what he said.
It's bales.
I don't know. I grew up in a city, a suburban town.
Yeah, I think you just put it with the trash.
It's like a waste. Kyle texts Craig to go get booze. Kory offers to go get it, and Craig tells him, take a girl, and Kory says he'll bring Sam, a cute little blonde.
You know what? We haven't had a liquor store run where it's the people who are vibing like this. I've just realized in this episode, producers are playing like matchmakers. They are kind of giving you like a one-on-one date here.
This was great. Remember for Gabby's party, how we were saying, like, how come no one went to go get booze?
Yes.
Like, thank God someone's going to get booze now.
It's iconic. It gives you like a separation from the group, because when you live with so many people, it's hard to get real one-on-one time. That's not just sitting on a bed.
It gives us a friendship. It gives us a moment. Okay, so it's 12:32 p.m. So Kyle turning 40 is huge. He's probably going to still continue partying. This is when they're like, he's going to be in a retirement home, like still drinking, which is...
I can see it.
My body hurts thinking about that. Kory tells Sam, like, hey, we're going to grab alcohol. And she's like, where? And he's like, the store. And she's like, oh, I thought you meant like the kitchen right now. I was like ready to go get a drink, but okay.
At first I was like, girly, where do you think you're going? And then I was like, oh, that actually does make sense. If he's like, let's grab a drink.
Let's grab a drink. I'd be like, okay, go grab me a drink.
Yeah, grab me a lover boy.
Empty-handed. Okay, it's 12:45 p.m. Sam has got the list of booze for what we need. They hop in the car. Kory is driving because Sam sometimes can't reach the pedals. I thought Sam was tall, but this would make her
no. I kind of always realized she was a little short. She wears heels a lot, so I think that's why.
Maybe that's it. Okay, they're gonna buy stuff to do suck, bang, blow shots, and other sexy drink things.
She keeps saying sexy drinks. It keeps bringing me back to when everybody used to call Sir Legit sexy, unique restaurant.
Yeah. I kept going like, what's a sexy drink thing? Like,
I don't know.
Are we talking like, oh, can I get a sex on the beach? You know how in like old movies,
yes,
say that and it'd be like, oh, they're flirting. But like, what the fuck is? I guess suck, bang, blow shots. But I would do that with like, it's just a shot. I would do that with anyone.
I don't know what.
If you've ever seen someone do that, like a blowjob shot, those are not sexy.
Those are not sexy.
They're the ugliest things I've ever done.
And like anything like that comes to mind that's like, oh, what's a sexy drink? I'm like, is immediately sugary and would be a lot on a hot summer day.
It's a lover boy. I don't know where we have them right in front of us.
And it just seems like it'd be complicated. Why do we need sexy drinks? Just grab a glass of rosé.
A sexy drink is a body shot, which Kory offers, and Sam's like, yeah, sure. And then she asks Kory's type of girl, and he says he's into attractive hot girls, which is such a douchey thing to say. Oh my God.
I love Kory for being the douchey guy he is. He's playing the part I need.
But even Sam is like, oh, hot, attractive girls, okay. And then he's like, no, I want girls who can take my humor and not get upset. Because he does sometimes take it too far. And I saw some tweet that was like, Kory saying this is just so he can be a fucking asshole and not take any responsibility for it. And I was like, what?
Okay,
What?
I think there is a version of that, but
There's a line.
he does have a very like digging in
Jokester.
humor.
Yes,
that
I
like
have that humor too.
I do too sometimes, and that means I like you.
Yeah. Actually, I just got in trouble for this. One of my friends thought I was going in way too hard on him, and I was like, I'm barely saying anything. But everyone hits different, I guess.
I like that my humor is making fun of other people because not many people will do it to me.
I won't take it too far. Like, I don't want to make you cry, but I want to annoy you a little bit, that you like think about how I annoyed you.
And I want everybody else to like, I want to say the things that everybody else is thinking.
Yeah, like you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I laugh. Sam says she doesn't get her feelings hurt a lot, but Kory's like, when was the last time you cried? And she's like, actually, it was 2 weeks ago, but before that, it was a year and a half. And
I don't always cry when my feelings are hurt. Like, sometimes I cry because I'm a freaking girl.
That's the thing. I don't cry because my feelings are hurt. Sometimes I wake up and I've like cried in my sleep and I don't know why. Sometimes I'm on my period.
Sometimes I just like my entire like I feel like my emotional bucket is so full, and the only way to release it is crying. Like sometimes I watch a sad movie just for the fact that I
can cry
an emotional release.
Yeah, I say this all the time. You know, when guys, because they always written like really mad and riled up and like punching walls and like their anger, girls just cry. It's equivalent to like having too many emotions. Also, we have a whole period we have to deal with. Okay, we cry sometimes.
Yeah, so
but a year and a half is a long time to not cry.
I'm
scared.
I don't think I'm proud of that for her.
I'm scared. She should let it out. That's why when Maya told her you speak too much, it like kind of came out. She was being vulnerable.
Yeah, that was definitely that time. And it makes me really sad that like that really like cut her so deep. Like she says this is like the one thing that gets to her.
Yeah. And Kory's like, what is it? And she's like, I'm not gonna tell you, this is not therapy.
Well, yeah, I'm not telling a boy I like the one thing that he can do to hurt me.
Yeah. And then Kory goes, I'll make you cry later. And Sam's like, great. And he's like, no, like out of laughter.
That was pretty funny.
And then he says he's gonna take a shot and spit it in her mouth, which we all know Sam's fucking about this.
And I realized because later we get a flashback of it. Kory doesn't know that she likes that unless she like recently told him we didn't get it on camera.
He's super into it. Some dudes are, I mean,
it's weird when like things like this match up for people. I'm like, you're meant to be.
Like, side note, there.
Oh God.
This has nothing to do with me, but the cast of Outer Banks, the guy that plays Rafe, they were doing that thing where people like you read thirst tweets about like the character, the actor, whatever, and so many people to this actor were like, the tweets were something like, Rafe Cameron makes me want to go feral, or like he could spit in my mouth all day, and everyone was like, ew, and the actor was literally like, oh, I'm honored, like he was kind of into it.
Oh,
and it was kind of cool to see.
No, I don't want
hot to see him into it.
I don't want a guy to spit in my mouth like more than just normal kissing. Like
even that is a lot after COVID. I don't know why I'm always like, had you have COVID? It's like, what are you doing?
I've never thought about that after COVID.
Oh my God.
Maybe I should.
I always in New York, I don't know why this is my new MO again, is like making out with dudes at a club, or like this weekend I went salsa dancing. Fun. I made out with some dude, and literally as soon as we stopped, I was like, are you sick? I was like, I'm trying to be healthy.
Oh my God.
Okay, next. So okay, so it's 1:01 p.m. Rachel and Jason are here, which I fucking flipped a shit.
And for those who don't know, they're from the Winter House.
Yes. Jason has been on both seasons of Winter House. Rachel was new this past season.
Mm-hmm.
They did kind of not like hook up, but like make out in the Winter House.
They were like a little couple.
They were a little item. They did like a cute painting date. So they're just like hanging out, being fun, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rachel and Danielle finally meet, which I guess I realized that Danielle didn't know who Rachel was.
It's kind of odd to me that she never met them like in the city, but I guess Danielle's not in the city a lot.
No.
Yeah.
No, I guess not.
But like
I'm trying to
Rachel
think.
did flowers for Amanda's wedding.
Wait, at the Winter House Hot Chocolate Fest, Rachel was there and Danielle came later. The one I went to, you know.
And by that time, this is
I don't know.
The Hot Chocolate Fest you were at is before this season.
Oh, then yeah, they didn't meet. Or wait. I don't know. Do your
fine.
timeline. I don't care.
Too much.
Okay, so
too much. I've overloaded Alicia's brain.
I'm broken. Okay, so no one really says hi to Jason, but I figure this is like no one really saw him because I was like,
I agree. He was
Jason.
Okay, so Rachel's here to do a floral wall, and Jason is like taking things out of the car. So I felt like he was just probably busy.
I just got sad no one said hi to him because I do really love Jason.
He's also not a cast member, so they're not gonna make this a storyline.
I just love him.
I know you
do.
do.
But Rachel and Jason are still hanging out. They're figuring it out. It's nothing serious because it's hot girl summer. But spoiler alert, for Rachel becomes different fella fall because she dates a different man in the fall.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm still sad. I was shocked that they were like still hanging out in the summer.
Yeah, because by October she's with a different dude.
By the time Winter House was airing, the fall after this season was filmed, yeah, she was with someone else.
Yeah. Also, I'm dumb. Hot Chocolate Truck was season 1 of Winter House, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
this
yeah. So Rachel wouldn't have been there. I see what you're saying.
Good
times. But at BravoCon, they were sitting next to each other and like were being a little flirty.
Oh, Jason and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's because they hadn't aired yet.
Yeah,
probably.
Good point.
I mean, I'm sad because she did say that one thing where she's like, the hottest man in the house is this guy right next to me, and it was Jason. And I was like,
I know.
Remember, I freaked out. I was like, oh my god,
yes,
my favorite couple. Not even a real couple. Okay, so Lindsay gets really upset that Jason's here. Danielle asks if she's okay, and Lindsay says, no, not really. To which case I'm like, what happened?
I was like, she like walks very quickly through the house and upstairs.
She gets the fuck out. So it's 1:35 p.m. Lindsay goes upstairs. She's upset Jason's here. Danielle lets Carl know, like, yo, Jason's here. Lindsay's upstairs. And he goes to check on her, which I think was a really good move on Danielle's part. Like, even though her and Lindsay are beefing, she knows this is like one of Lindsay's triggers.
Mm-hmm.
So Carl checks on Lindsay. Lindsay doesn't want to be there when Jason walks in. She doesn't want Jason to say hi to her. So Vermont was really awkward. Lindsay and Carl went to the Winter House where Jason was. Lindsay and Jason discussed not only their miscarriage, but how Lindsay went public with the miscarriage and Jason felt like he didn't really get a warning. Now we did find out they had previously talked about this, and we think the producers made Jason bring this up on camera.
Yeah.
Okay, so they both went through something traumatic.
And it seemed like he co-signed maybe the show, but not an article.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
Yes. She was like, I'm going to talk about it on the show, but then like gave interviews to tabloids, which made him upset because he didn't get his side.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? And he was upset his like family was finding out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they talk in Vermont. I thought it went fine.
Me too.
It was a little awkward, but I thought it ended fine. So Jason, I guess Lindsay says Jason's still kind of making it a thing, and Lindsay doesn't want to deal with that. And I have a feeling what it was they talked about it on Winter House. Winter House premiered what? Like
Winter House season 2 hasn't premiered yet.
No. Oh.
In this live world, or like this world that they're filming, Winter House season 2 has taped in February of 2022. They are filming Summer House right now, all summer, and Winter House season 2 will air in the fall in 2022. It has not aired yet.
Oh, I was like, maybe it's Winter House press, because once this comes out, Jason gets interviewed.
Yeah, like what if it was his like Watch What Happens live appearance? No, none of that has happened yet.
So what the
I mean, I don't know. Like maybe in the city he keeps talking to like their friends about it.
Maybe. I mean, obviously Lindsay is entitled to feel however she wants. This was very traumatic for her. Jason also
it's just confusing.
His feelings is also validated. Yeah, both their feelings are valid. As a viewer, I have no idea what the fuck is happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1:54. Or wait, so I thought this was really good. Carl asked Lindsay, what can I do to support you? Which is,
I love this.
That was the most attractive I've seen Carl this whole season.
But why do I run away from boys who are whole and healed like Carl.
Well, I want to already be in love with you, and then you can do this.
Yeah, I think I need to become best friends with you. I think I need to follow Lindsay's exact path.
Yeah, pre-love, we're into Kory, which might not be healthy.
No.
But post-love, I wanted Carl.
Mm-hmm.
If we're in love and you're still giving me shit like Kory, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna be
I
like,
want a little razzle dazzle,
a
but
little
like,
bit. But now he knows your buttons, and he's gonna be like, Meredith, I'm gonna joke about a
when I'm really
thing.
pissed, be Carl and ask, how can I support
Yeah,
you?
I
Like
support?
the way he phrased that and everything.
So Lindsay's like, tell Jason to steer clear of me.
And Carl's like, I'm on it.
Wild. So it's 1:54 p.m. We're getting dressed, finishing setting up. Kory and Sam are back, and then Carl says hi to Jason, and he's just like, hey man, avoid Lindsay at all costs. And Jason's like, no worries, bro. Jason's like, I don't give a fuck.
It's like Jason knew this was coming. I felt like this was a thing, and then to Jason, he's like, yeah, no problem.
I think Jason's just here for a good time, right? He shows up with Rachel. Yeah. He's here for Carl's birthday. He's friends with Carl,
yeah,
Kyle, whatever. And Carl's like, hey man, don't fucking talk to Lindsay. And Jason's like, no worries, wasn't gonna. Also, Jason's so chill.
Yeah,
you could be like, hey man, stand over in the corner for the rest of the party, and he'd be like, yeah, no worries. Like, he's so chill. I love Jason. Am I his type?
Oh,
do we think? We were talking, our pre-show is all of me talking about how I'm not Luke's type. And if anyone's,
I think we found your type.
If anyone's kind of into my type of person, you know, someone who works out but doesn't have abs, a little Hispanic blood to them, that's me. Also a little Italian. We could go either way. Okay, so
build up the roster.
I love fried chicken, which we discussed.
How about you just everybody go listen to the pre-show and find Alicia, her person.
Please. Okay, so it's 2:15 p.m. We're getting dressed. Chris is working out a little. Lindsay's wearing assless chaps and a thong bikini. Kyle's getting hair extensions put in for his mullet. Amanda wants the mullet gone.
Yeah.
But she can't ask Kyle to grow up or change or do anything. And she's accepted that, which this to me, I was like,
I'm like, I mean, I feel like this is one that like you should finally get a say on, because I understand why he started growing it now. He said one of his resolutions was to have a mullet by his 40th. I see the theme now. I see the vision. I'm on board with it for the first half of the year. Spoiler, it does not get shaved in 2020 and it is still happening.
Yeah, it's rough. Kyle, though, with the extensions, looks like Kid Rock, like to a T.
I actually really loved it, like for this party.
Yeah, it was great. So Craig asked Kory how the liquor store was. Kory says it was pretty good. Him and Sam bonded, you know? And then Kory, like in the middle of the conversation, Kory puts on his hat and Craig just goes, you look Amish. You look Amish.
Oh God, that hat is so bad.
So it's 2:41 p.m. Oliver's here. We do shots. Time for the hoedown to begin. And if the real ones remember, 7 summers ago, Kyle, Lindsay, and Carl had a hoedown in season 1 because we saw Christina.
Wasn't it Kyle's birthday that
it was Lindsay's?
It
was Hub's hoedown.
You're right. I was gonna say, I swear it was a birthday.
It was Hub's hoedown. They went to that weird sandy bar.
Yep.
That actually kind of looked like the bar they were at when Lindsay and Carl were making out and she called him Big Daddy.
And didn't her and Everett have a fight right beforehand, and Everett did show up?
Yes. Okay, great. So shout out. Actually, I'd like to just mention that Everett is not shown at Kyle's birthday, and he usually shows up.
I wonder if the 50 or the like limit on how many people they can have got him cut.
But Everett's one of Kyle's best friends.
I know, but like Everett's moved on. Does he even live in New York anymore?
I don't know. I don't keep tabs on him, but like,
I'm just saying.
I don't know anything.
We do normally get an Everett spotting.
It was kind of sad because I would love to see Lindsay just a little like, hey. So it's 3:13 p.m. Sierra thinks Kory's super hot. Amanda agrees. They're all talking in like country accents. Kory rides a bull. He only lasts 20 seconds. So then Sierra hops on and she's like, I'm going to beat that because I can make most people last longer than 20 seconds.
Damn,
she gets
girl.
23 seconds. So
nice.
A win's a win. Win is a win.
I will say, when Kory fell off, he did save his beer.
Yeah, no, that's talent.
So hats off to him.
So 3:39, Chris is surrounded by ladies, probably because he's got the tequila.
He has it like in a holster. I was like, this is a good move.
That's
like
good. He's learning.
You know what,
see?
Chris? A, you're bringing the theme, and
Yes.
B, yeah, you're learning how to draw the ladies to you.
Exactly. He does a weird Western interview that you can tell the producers made him do, but it was super weird and uncomfortable.
But he'll participate. You know what?
He
A
does
for
it.
effort.
He doesn't say no.
Yeah.
Danielle, Paige, and Sierra take a picture together. Who would have thought? That's what they all said. Who would have thought? Gabby asked Kory how his alcohol trip was, and Kory's like, "What'd Sam say?" And Gabby's like, "No, I haven't talked to her. I'm asking you." And he says that Sam's like, cool. You can joke around with her. She's into him spitting in her mouth, and Gabby's like, "No, yeah, that's
real.
Sam." So Gabby's like, "I'll go talk to Sam, see what she says." So Gabby's a real one here.
I was about to say the same thing. Like, you're really doing the Lord's work here. You and the producers. Producers, thanks for setting up the car ride. Gabby, thanks for chatting about it and pushing these two closer.
Listen, I'm a really good wing woman. I would totally do this. This is A+ work.
God, Alicia, I need to be in the same city as you.
I have 5 couples right now in long-term relationships or married.
You know what? I will say that you do dabble in my me going on dates. Like, you do help me. So
I do. I push.
You're just my fairy godmother from afar.
I do. It's 3:59 p.m. Craig has beer bong on the balcony. And he's like shooting it down to the people below. Sam tells Kory we're doing shots. And this is when Gabby tells us that Sam is a triple Gemini and Kory is a Leo, but has triple fire signs. I don't know what that means.
I can't believe you caught all of that. I literally was like, in my mind was like, Alicia's gonna literally roll her eyes at this stupid little short reading.
Because I did not put any of like my own notes in this, but this was the only time I said, what the actual fuck does this mean? I don't get it. And then Gabby says there's a lot of passion, which I was like, I guess.
I'm like, she sure.
says it won't work out. And I was like, because they're triple signs of different things. 3 in a row, baby. I don't know.
I would think that's like a jackpot. And like,
we won.
Like,
we won.
Yeah.
Also, is triple Gemini when like
your sign, this is what I do know. Yes, yeah, you have your normal sign the day you were born, and then where the moon and the sun were is your moon and sun signs. There's houses. Remember, there's the 12 houses.
No. Okay.
I think we need a astrological consultant.
I want Gabby on Vanderpump so her and Allie can do this.
Oh, we are getting it at both sides. And I actually love this random layer that we're getting.
Fucking everywhere. So Sam does a body shot off Kory. Also, wait, what do you think about Gabby saying there's a lot of passion? It might not work. It's not going to work. That's what she said, right?
I didn't actually catch that it won't work.
Oh.
I don't know why, but I thought I heard they're both passionate, and I was like, wow, this is a great fit.
I heard that they're like fucking fire, man. It's gonna light up, like we're all gonna die.
They're just playing fire with fire.
I think this is one of those situations where if it works, it's gonna work forever.
Yeah.
But if the tiniest little bit of like gasoline gets in it, it's gonna explode, and this is gonna be the messiest breakup we've ever seen. Well, maybe not. But like it's gonna be bad, and
That's true. We are going through Scandal right now.
If this is messier though, bring it. These two are stars.
I think they would have to like date for a while for it to be super Bravo sphere messy.
So we'll come back in 10 years, see how they're doing.
Oh my God.
So meanwhile, Sierra's talking to Danielle about how hot Kory is. Sierra's like, I thought about it for like a fucking minute, but like triangles are not Sierra's shape.
Yeah.
Because last season.
I'm glad. This was kind of becoming like a sad side storyline.
Yeah. So then they talk about Lindsay and Danielle and how the vibes are awkward. And Danielle says they need to have a conversation. She still has a lot to say. Sierra tells Danielle, Lindsay's probably more sad about how Danielle brought up the discussion. And Danielle just says she feels validated in her feelings and wishes Lindsay would take her feelings to heart, which is a fine validation. If you feel that way, you just have to communicate it correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know how people think we're immature. We're literally spitting out therapy riffs right now. So now it's 4:16 p.m. The hoedown continues. We're drinking the Loverboy variety packs.
Mm-hmm.
Kory's taking pictures of Sam with that Polaroid camera. Carl invites Oliver and Chris and Kyle to his and Lindsay's housewarming party. And Kyle's like, yo, dude, this has been your longest relationship since I've known you. And it's only 9 months. So
Hey, I mean, I can't tout a long relationship personally, so
technically Lauren was on and off for about a year.
yeah, but they did not know. He ghosted her in winter.
They broke up.
that was a situationship for sure. But weirdly, do you think we're gonna get this housewarming on Summer House?
Yeah, I think it'll be probably like next episode.
I kind of hope so. Like I want some city content.
They wouldn't mention it if it wasn't going to be in the episode, probably.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good point.
If it was in
yeah,
the fall, they'd be
they
like,
they would. Yeah, you're right. They wouldn't really
cares?
show us.
But what I'm curious about is if Danielle is invited / gonna go. That's what I thought about. Okay, so Craig's like, yeah, great that you're moving in, but like Paige and I have been dating for the same amount of time and we aren't moving in. Like, what's the next fucking chapter for me and Paige? Like, she won't move in with me until we're engaged. So do I like propose and shit? Fuck you, Craig. Nutty. I can't.
I don't know why, but in my mind, like Carl and Lindsay and Craig and Paige have not been dating the same amount of time.
Okay. Kyle says it where he's like, well, Craig and Lindsay have like been good friends for like 7 years.
Carl, God, you do not need another C/K name.
Oh my God, did I say Craig? Craig thinks Lindsay's a loser. Fuck. Okay, so go back. Carl and Lindsay have been friends for
7 years. Yeah.
And they're seriously dating. Like they are also living in the same city / apartment building / apartment. It's different than your long distance thing with Paige where you guys,
that was like a situationship beforehand.
Yeah, you guys were in like literal different cities but dating. You guys were in Winter House dating different people. Yeah. Like at the same time. Like it's just not the same. But whatever. So Craig and Paige have had conversations about kids in Charleston, like having their whole family in Charleston. Mm-hmm. And Carl's like, yo, that's cool. What about you, Oliver? He's like, no one gives a fuck about Craig.
I don't think Carl likes Craig at all. They're polar opposites.
That's fair. That's very fair. Even if Craig was sober, I think he'd still be the most fucking annoying person in the world. Like,
yeah,
truly.
I think like Carl's like fine to be around him, but he doesn't want to talk about his relationship and like bond.
No, if Carl really wanted to be petty, he'd be like, oh man, yeah, I remember making out with Paige in that pantry. It was dope. Good kisser.
We don't need any more X drama. Lindsay's already having enough with Jason.
So funny. Okay, so they ask Oliver, and Oliver's like, yeah, we hang out. Like, we haven't really talked about moving in, mostly because him and Maya literally just started dating, I feel like. They were a situationship for a long time. And then
it's weird also because like we know they're broken up in real time too. Yeah,
because then the boys were like, what if she wanted to move in? Like, would you? Like, who's the one holding it back? And Oliver's like, both of us? He's like neither.
He doesn't really answer. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to make of that non-response.
For me, moving in after dating for 9 months is too short for me.
Me too.
So I wouldn't. I mean,
granted, if I was like 35, if I was like Lindsay and Carl's age, I don't think it would be too soon.
If we were friends, fine. But like,
I wouldn't find it that crazy. But
Oliver and Maya, I see why he's like,
I want my independence in my 20s.
Yeah, this is not it.
I think even if I get married, want my own place.
I want my own bedroom, please.
Like how Alicia and I are supposed to live our future apartment dreams if I don't have my own place.
Yeah, exactly. 10 out of 10. Okay, so it's 4:34 p.m. Lindsay's gonna take a shot with Gabby and Sam. Lindsay's like, hey Sam, how were the compliments Kory gave you? And Sam's like, Kory called me hot. Haha. And then Gabby's like, I talked to Kory, and she tells Sam that Kory said that they're vibing. And she's like, he knows like 3 words, and one of them's vibes. And then she says
I love her reads on him. They're so funny because it's accurate. So true.
They're accurate. So Sam has dated 100 guys like Kory. They don't text you back when you start to have feelings, but she's starting to have a little crush. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm liking this build up of them.
I do too.
This is why I wish I needed like an episode or two more before I found out that they were dating.
Yeah, I'm glad we're seeing the build up, but like I'm sad I know where it ends. Like I want that longing of where does it go. So it's 4:48 p.m. and our Midwestern king walks in. So not only do I have Jason and Carl from therapy, but also my Midwestern king Luke.
Here we are.
Is here
in a full like blanket wrap.
Like
it was like a lot, but very Luke. It reminds me
it was
of last season at Lindsay's birthday party. Wasn't he wearing like a wolf costume? Something where he was definitely really hot for her birthday too.
Yeah. He looks straight out of like Arizona.
Like Yellowstone. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks great. He's just gonna die of heat. So Gabby meets Luke and she's like, funny enough, her and Luke have matched on a dating app, but then he didn't answer during the pandemic, which was understandable because he was trapped in a house with crazy people, aka Sierra and Hannah that season. Ooh. So he was busy.
Yeah.
But now he's here all Midwestern and maybe like her love potion starting to kick in. To which I was like, this is his type. This is it. Gabby's his type.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
But we also found out news about Luke. Like all my longing for relationships in Summer House are just being like crushed.
Yeah, I'm upset it doesn't go anywhere and we know that. Also, when Gabby was like talking to him, he's like, hey, I'll see you later, okay? And walks away. And I was like, wah.
I'm like,
but
Luke.
He later follows up where he's like talking to her and she's like, whatever. So I mean, maybe he was just hot. He needed to go get some water. Okay, so then Paige and Craig go talk. Craig's like, hey, will you marry me? Haha. But funny enough, Paige, the guys were asking me, Craig's like, we've been dating the same as Carl and Lindsay, and we're not moving in.
Which this conversation is the complete opposite of their conversation last week, where she was like, I love that we do things at our own pace. Like, I don't feel pressure about anything. And then like Craig literally walks up to her and is like, Carl and Lindsay have been dating the same amount of time. Why are we moving in together? Why don't we live in the same city?
When are you ready to settle down in Charleston? And Paige is like, are you proposing? What is happening?
Yeah.
So Craig says, they've never talked about the middle chapters of their relationship, which I think is stupid. Okay. You don't talk about what?
I don't think it's stupid. Well, I think it's stupid that they haven't yet talked about it, but I understand saying like, what's our bigger vision and talking about that first and then kind of like figuring out the middle. But I'm shocked they haven't at this point.
I think they've come to it's only been 9 months, right? Let's start there.
That's true.
So I think it's stupid that Craig's like, where's the journey? We have the destination. And Paige is like, we're in the journey. I don't know. We're like figuring it out is how I took it, right? They know they want to marry each other and like have a family, right? Yeah. That's their end goal. We don't know how we're getting there. And Craig is like, when are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? How many bathroom breaks along the way? And Paige is like, I'm just going to follow that.
He wants like all the minute details, which I think is crazy.
After 9 months, I think like this is also drunk at a party is not the place to like bring this up, but I know we're 100%.
And we already know she's going to like tear up here because we've seen it in the mid-season trailer that I'm like, at what point are you going to piss her off so much with these questions that she just starts crying?
So Paige is like, listen, we've been dating for a year. I'm almost 30. I don't want to be engaged by the time I'm 30. Like Paige used to want that, but now she's like, I don't want it. And she wants to date another year before he proposes. And Craig's like, 2 years? And I'm like, 2 years is not that bad.
Especially when you like agree that you're going to get engaged.
Also, you guys don't even live in the same city. Like, give it a break. It's okay.
Well, it seems like she wants to get engaged and then commit to living together.
Which is fine, but I can see why she wants a longer dating life.
Yeah.
Because they don't see each other. Their relationship is still only on weekends, right? When you have a long distance relationship,
he said that they basically do 4 days on, 3 days off.
Okay, so 3-4 days, great. It's still one of those short trips where you go visit like your person.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with
you can like curate who
shit.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not dealing with a bunch of real shit. You get
they still haven't farted in front of each other.
Yeah. Like we're not ready to get there.
No.
So
and that's okay. Like they can be in
it's
this
okay.
like early stage.
It's okay, but Craig is like 2 years is 5 months too long, Paige. I can't.
I'm really enjoying watching this storyline of Paige because it makes me,
same,
who is a similar age as her, feel so much better with where my life is headed. And that like I don't need, if I met someone tomorrow and they are my person, I don't need to fast track a relationship just because I'm like inching towards 30.
I agree. I love Paige in this. I feel for Paige. I understand her. She even says, like, what the fuck, Craig? Like, do you want to propose in 6 months? Like, what's your end? What's happening?
Yeah.
And Craig basically says, like, he's happy, but like, when will Paige be ready to move to Charleston? And this is when Paige is like, this is a lot, okay? Like, she wants to get proposed and then live together, and she's not ready to be engaged yet. So, like, we have time. And Craig's like, that's fine, but like, I don't want to I hate that we're talking about having to propose. And Paige is like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, she wants to get engaged, but as soon as they get engaged, the clock starts and they have to move in and get married. And Paige is just the one that's changing a lot more, because if she moves to Charleston, her friends aren't there, her career really isn't there, her family's in New York, and this is where she tears up and she says she doesn't want to leave her mom, which I was like, this is me.
God.
This is me, you guys.
And like, I don't think he ever saw it from that perspective. And so I think this really changed a lot. Like, her explaining all of that makes so much sense.
I also think, listen, not to like shit on Craig, but I'm gonna do it, right? First to agree with Craig, New York is like a shitty ass place to raise kids because the school system.
I understand the long-term vision of wanting to like live somewhere not New York.
Totally understand it. But then I was like, Craig's not even from Charleston. Like, I know his life is there.
I was thinking the same thing.
But like,
they're actually closer to his parents in New York.
Yeah, like, why don't they move to, if they move to like near Paige's parents, they're close to Delaware.
I don't think she would want that.
Okay, so they moved to like a different spot in New York or closer to her parents in
Connecticut
Delaware somewhere.
Or yeah,
literally anything. Why do we have to move to Charleston? Also, Paige's whole career is based on being this fashion influencer of like fast New York, fun, fashion, whatever.
Yeah.
And I know Craig has a pillow store and stuff.
I think it'll age with her though. Like, she'll become the mommy blogger and whatever.
Maybe, but my point for Craig was like, it doesn't have to be in Charleston. Like, you guys could be closer to Paige's parents. So, yeah, it's 5:20 now. Paige is crying. She doesn't want to leave her mom. And this is when Craig's like, oh my God, you're crying? Like, it's okay. It's okay. I'll come to New York. And then Craig's like, I would come to New York for you, Paige. And Paige is like, I'm ready to settle down.
He says he loves her more than Charleston.
Well, that's in a second. I was getting there. Sorry.
I was like, that is so
it's very cute.
Sweet. Why are we getting really cute things from guys in this episode? I'm like, this is adorable.
I thought it was cute. I like it because it's Paige, but if Craig said this to me, I would be like, ew. I just don't find Craig
No, but that's what it is it's very like what she in a sense wants to needs to hear.
I'm happy. Yeah. He says he would move to New York for Paige. Paige says she is ready to settle down, but moving out of New York or moving anywhere is scary. And this is where he says, I love you more than Charleston. Or I love Charleston, but I love you more. And then Paige is like, thank you so much. And Craig's like, I know you love New York more than me. And she's like, I do.
I love that even more than his thing.
I get it. She says it. Best city in the world.
I knew you were gonna like say that.
Best city in the world. Okay, 5:32 p.m. Amanda teaches Kyle how to kiss with a cowboy hat. Craig asked Paige to put her tongue in his mouth, which I almost vomited. Everyone's riding the bull, and then Luke and Lindsay go hang out inside. Lindsay wants to talk to Luke about how weird it is here with Danielle. She says that Danielle has a lot of strong opinions about her and Carl and felt attacked at the girls' dinner. And she's getting blamed for the friendship changing. And Luke's like, maybe Danielle's just used to being single. And Lindsay's like, she is, but she's still confused about Danielle's feelings and why Danielle wants to air them out at girls' dinner. And yeah, Danielle should just be happy for Lindsay. Lindsay's getting really heated in her interview about how Danielle should be treating her. Wild. She was mad. She was mad. It was done after filming. It was mad.
There's a lot in this because again, I don't think that like how Danielle has her reads about Lindsay and Carl's relationship should be super tied up in this. Like Lindsay gets so set on that piece of their friendship and that Danielle should just be happy for her. And I don't like the forcing of like, well, you should just be happy for me. Well, why can't I have my comments?
I think Lindsay mostly is mad about how it came up.
Yeah. But yeah, the girls' dinner, I totally understand.
But I do agree where like Danielle has been trying to tell Lindsay, like, I think you're moving very fast. And Lindsay's very upset.
Yeah.
And I think they both have different ideas of friendship. Like they both do this
100%.
They both do this blind loyalty thing. But Danielle's like, I'll fight everyone for you. And Lindsay's like, just don't ask me about like I'm perfectly capable by myself. Like it's both blind loyalty, but in a different way.
Yeah. You know? And I mean, I really like here that Lindsay says like, why is all of this friendship on her? Because I don't think the issue is all on her. And I think sometimes when like women specifically get upset in friendships, it's like you did this and you did this, and like yeah, it's okay that like a friend did something bad, but like you got to work together like to come whole.
I agree. And I think they're both not communicating / seeing the other person's perspective.
I think that's a huge thing is they don't really want, I don't think they want to mend this that hard to like learn where each other's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, it's 6:02 p.m. Mike gets pushed in the pool. Amanda takes the mic. We welcome in Kyle Cook. He comes out with a bandana on his dick and his ass out. Amanda does a speech about Kyle keeping her young but making her feel old. Then Kyle takes the mic, cheers to Amanda, but he wanted to give a speech. I didn't hear what he said because his thighs are super white. And then
they are
super white. He takes the bandana off. You think you're gonna see his dick, but really there's like a hat on his dick, like a really small hat, by the way. And then the water, Craig, Kory, and I'm pretty sure Carl, but who knows?
Chris, it was Chris. I saw him walking upstairs. Yeah.
They throw a bunch of water on Kyle, and I think the hat flew off because then Kyle's cupping his dick. So I was like, oh no, literally everyone saw his dick.
This is a lot.
So it's 6:31. Great. We have a band playing now. We have Sam and Kory flirting. And Kyle's just happy. He's happy to be here. So
this is a good birthday.
I know he's happy. 6:45. Chris is on the prowl, right? Finds this girl in a denim outfit. He offers her his last shot of tequila. And he loves her boobs mainly.
I love how production was like, don't do what you're about to do. Just stop.
Loves her boobs. Okay, but she's the one that said, should we go dance? So I was like, maybe she's into him.
I think she is.
We're all dancing. Paige, Sierra, and Amanda talk. They're having so much fun. Amanda said she cried because she was singing off tune. And then Paige was like, I also cried because Craig asked me about moving. She just feels overwhelmed. And Sierra's like, oh my God, he can't expect you to move. You haven't even talked to your mom yet. And Paige was like, I know. And so, the thought of being a wife is scary. Amanda agrees. And then Paige is like, the scariest thing is like, are we sure we want to get married? Like, yeah, we're in love, but do we want this? Is this it?
I know. Paige is like, are people thinking about these things when they get engaged? And Amanda's like, yes. And I was like, okay, I like normalizing these, like, what the fuck is going on with my life conversations.
We're all concerned.
We're all scared, even if you love the person.
So then, but Craig loves Paige. He's willing to make sacrifices. Great. Lindsay then pulls Danielle over because weird vibes. But first they stop and they get a hot dog.
It was weird because you couldn't really it wasn't like there was a cameraman walking with them. It was the surveillance footage of the party. And you could just hear them. And I was like, where are they? Where are they going? What is happening right now?
Yeah, they're like, let's get some hot dogs. And then they sit down, eat their hot dogs in silence for a little bit. And I was like,
are we going to even get this conversation on this episode? What is happening right now?
Hot dog. So Danielle wants to talk to Lindsay, but Danielle wants to punt that. Or she's willing to put that to the side for the sake of Lindsay and Jason. And Lindsay's like, I appreciate that. I guess like when Jason showed up, Danielle sprinted to find Lindsay to be like, he's here, which Lindsay really appreciates. It's a good reminder of their friendship. And Danielle's like, I love you to death, Lindsay, but sometimes I don't feel that love back. And Danielle reminds her that dinner conversation was super bad. And Lindsay's like, but Danielle, you did that. And Danielle's like, I thought we could just talk. And Lindsay's like, I felt attacked. And Danielle's like, I would never attack you. I just want to have conversations with you. And Lindsay's like, but you did in front of people. So that's like the essence of what we're really mad about.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because you can see like Lindsay is defensive about some things. Like she's upset about how things were handled, about the Carl Lindsay conversations. And it's like she gets hung up on that side of it. And then Danielle's hung up on her side, but we haven't really heard much of her side. It's just like Lindsay's a bad friend. Lindsay's not there. And it's like, okay, and
so Lindsay's basically like, if you care about me, you're not going to tell other people. You're going to tell me. And Danielle's like, okay, why don't you check in and ask how I feel?
This is the point where I was like, all right, we're getting somewhere. Come on, Danielle, say it.
Here's her issue, right? Mm-hmm. I think Lindsay's main issue is like, hey, don't bring it up in front of people. Yeah. But Danielle has a ton of issues, right? She doesn't feel validated. She doesn't feel loved. Lindsay's not listening to her. She should be able to have these conversations. Mm-hmm. So Danielle says she doesn't feel like Lindsay hears her or that they have an equal partnership. And the friendship is always Danielle being there for her, which I was like, oh no, Danielle's coming in hot. So Lindsay's like, oh, I'm never there for you. Then why are we even friends?
And Danielle's I hate when people do that type of stuff. Like this is Danielle's first time finally actually saying real things.
Like here are feelings.
And she just said, you don't like hear me out. And now you're going to be like, oh, why are we friends?
She's like, then that's the end of the friendship. So Danielle's just like, I feel like things are different because of Carl. And Lindsay's like, of course they are because things have changed. And Danielle's like, I need to talk. Okay. But Lindsay says she's going to pull back because if there's an opinion about her relationship, then that's a problem, but you don't attack her in a group setting. And Danielle's like, it wasn't an attack. And Lindsay says, don't have opinions on like my life, because Lindsay doesn't have opinions on Danielle's life because she expects Danielle to be an adult. And Danielle's like, because you don't have opinions, I feel like you don't care.
Yeah, like you're not asking me how I am because you just let me be. This is where I really saw clear defined of like what they want and or need out of friendship. Like Danielle is giving Lindsay this blind loyalty, like she will fight to the death, like she wants to make sure Lindsay gets what she deserves out of any type of romantic relationship, like will involve herself to make sure Lindsay is good. And that's what Danielle wants in return. Whereas what Lindsay gives is space for you to grow and be on your own and do your own thing.
And just offer support in that space.
If you like speak up for it. And it's like
ask for the support.
Yeah, this is just not working well.
So yeah. Danielle's like, that makes me think you don't care. Danielle says that she needs help too. And Lindsay's like, with what? And this is where Danielle starts crying. And this is when I'm like, she's hurt. She's just really hurt.
Yeah.
And then Danielle's crying and Danielle's like, you don't ask or know. And Lindsay gives her a hug and is like, I'm hugging you. I'm so sorry. Like she apologizes. And I think that's important to know. Like Lindsay's being like, oh my God, you are hurt. And I didn't realize it. Do I think Lindsay maybe needs to take a step back and be like, okay, what does Danielle need from me? Yes. Because Danielle is the most hurt friend at this point. And I think reverse, it's always been Lindsay being the most hurt friend. Does that make sense?
Like the one who needs kind of saving.
Yeah. Yes. Is that what they said last week? Like Lindsay was always the one that needed saving?
No, she's the one who always was in the spotlight. Is kind of how they phrased it, and like Danielle was in the shadow.
When Lindsay was talking to Sam, I feel like Lindsay was like,
it was her backbone. Danielle was always her backbone, is like what they talked about.
So yeah, Danielle has fully lost her backbone and she needs Lindsay, but Lindsay is the I don't know, like miles away,
waiting in the wings, like
it's different.
I really, really, really wish, because I don't know if this is going to happen, but I doubt it will. But I really wish Lindsay, well, I don't think it's going to happen because of like where they are now. I wish
God,
Lindsay
we know the
in
end
this
to all these
moment,
relationships. I'm
I
so
know.
mad. Sorry.
I wish
Okay.
Lindsay in this moment, or like very shortly afterwards, would just put aside her issues, like the things she's upset with, because they are a little bit like smaller, in my opinion. Like, put them aside and put them in a box and be like, I need to be, like you said, the backbone for Danielle. Like, clearly Danielle's really hurt. Like, I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to support her. Like, I'm going to put all this stuff. Like, I need to be the one to give like 75% in this relationship right now and like really help her through it. She's clearly struggling, but I don't think Lindsay does that.
But also on the other hand, you need Danielle to be open and honest. Like, we have yet
I know. Oh yeah.
Given I know like the interviews are weird because they're doing this post season, and I think Robert and Danielle have broken up by the time she does interviews. But she has to tell like Lindsay, right? Like, she can't just sit here and be like, I'm hurt that you don't ask. And Lindsay's like, okay, I'm here now. So Danielle has to be like,
yeah,
Robert and I suck right now.
I just think if Danielle says our friendship isn't good, if Lindsay brings up her stuff that's bothering her, I feel like it's going to dissuade Danielle from like actually getting to the friendship thing. Yeah. So like, I want Lindsay to like put down her gun and like let Danielle be like, all right, here's where I'm really struggling. Like, I'm having all these problems in my own life and you're not there asking me how my life's going. So I don't share. So then you don't support me. Because it's this cycle they're in.
Yeah, they obviously cut off this conversation to screw with us. But I do think like by Lindsay apologizing, it does seem like she's kind of,
I agree,
saying like, I'm sorry, I see you're hurt. Like, tell me.
But I don't think we actually get them discussing it ever because we know they're not friends right now.
I don't think they discuss it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I think they might discuss it, or Danielle opens up and almost immediately Lindsay just goes, but you attacked me. Let's talk about it.
That's what I don't want her to do.
But
like Lindsay has to put her pride away and put like her frustrations to the side. If this were to ever like say we didn't know the end, if this were to end well, that's what Lindsay I think would have to do, and I don't think it's gonna happen because we know it doesn't end well.
I'm on such a high from Hubhouse's ending right now.
I know. No, I think that was a really good thing.
Because this whole season, I've been like, I'm usually a big Lindsay stan, and I still love her. I'm obsessed with her. But like, I see where Danielle's hurt is, and I'm like, yeah, against the public somehow. I know. But like, now I'm like, no, I'm
Lindsay isn't as big of a villain in my mind in this story. Like, seeing her play this out, like,
but you can see where she could go wrong,
like where she's about to go wrong. Like, I think I can see what's about to happen.
So do you think she does go wrong because they're not friends anymore?
Yeah. Like, I think if the more every time Danielle is going to try and talk to her, it's going to be this like, will you do this to me? I don't think they're actually going to end up talking about how hurt Danielle ever is.
There's one thing.
That's on Danielle for not speaking up, but I think Lindsay might not also give her like a safe space. If
there's one thing we know, Hubhouse loves talking about herself. Okay,
she does. And listen, I get it. I love talking about me too.
Star. Okay, we get a to be continued, which is such bullshit. I fucking hate these. This is not that interesting of a show. Give us the
they hugged even if the conversation's going to continue. I don't think we need a to be continued.
They could do next on, and then it's like, I'm sorry, Danielle, we get the same clip, and then we move on to something else.
Yep, I agree.
What's happening with Kory and Sam? Before we saw them making out in the pool. Last episode it was like to be continued or whatever, but we saw them making out in the pool. We did not get that this episode. So you could have put that in the coming up
next time on. Yeah,
I'm upset. Okay, let's do fun, not fun. Everyone was fun. Am I wrong?
I really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed this a lot. Need more of this.
Am I gonna pick someone as not fun just because they weren't in the episode?
Oh,
okay. I think I'll do it. I think I'm gonna pick Maya just because she wasn't in the episode.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, she just fell in the pool and like gave Oliver a hug and said she was sweaty.
Yeah.
That's all I think I have of her.
It's hard because I feel like no, I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like I want to pick something, but I don't even know. I'm kind of with I'm gonna pick Sierra. I don't like her like running around with this Kory relationship is the only thing she's really
even though
talking
it
about.
doesn't go anywhere.
It's just I'm like, girly, come on. He's like, stop making this even half of a thing.
You know what? We saw Austin in this episode, and that's only because of Sierra, so she's not fun.
For a minute, I thought I saw him at the party, and I was like, don't you dare throw up his name. He wasn't there, though.
Wait, oh my God. Actually, I have pause before we do fun. I have like some drama. I didn't tell you because I wanted to tell you on the podcast, but like it's not drama, but like crazy. Me and my friends on Thursday were going, my work friends, we were going out in Soho after work, and we saw Robert with another girl.
No!
He walked right past us with
Alicia.
another girl. Oh my God, I can't believe I buried the lead. I don't know why I forgot about that. God, people who end our episode early are gonna be so pissed. Yeah, he was with him. Like she looked like a model. She was gorgeous. But me, like my friend literally wouldn't
What
come.
night
like,
was this? Like what night of the week?
Thursday night.
Oh,
in
interesting.
Soho. I was walking.
I feel like he'd be busy that night being a chef.
I was walking across the street and my friend wasn't moving. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm in the middle of the street. Like, are you coming?
Yeah.
And she like moved her head. And I'm like, what?
Try not to sit. Yeah.
I see this like average white dude and a hot girl. And I was like, oh man, like another average dude taken by a hot girl. Like, I just wish they would save some for us. And she goes, are you dumb? And then I look again, I'm like, oh my God. And then, but they walked so fast. I was like, holy shit, wait, was that Robert? So I didn't get to look too hard. I was just like average white dude with hot chick. Oh. But she was like, that was Robert. That was Danielle's Robert. That was him.
God, Alicia.
So I'm really going off of
your first spotting in the wild of someone?
In the wild, yes. I mean, of a Bravo celebrity.
Yeah. Oh yes, my God.
Isn't that wild?
He's moved on. I mean, it has almost been like 6 months, but still so weird.
I'm sad for Danielle. Okay, so because I couldn't even tell you though what this girl looked like, or like honestly what Robert was wearing. I was just like average white dude, hot girl. Of course. Because me and my friend were just talking about how like there's no dudes here. So we were like, I was like, oh, another one taken. It's Robert. Okay, so now we need fun. God, do I give it to Danielle? Because now I feel bad. No. Who was fun? Who was fun?
I'm gonna give it to Kyle. It's his birthday. This was an epic theme. He was having a ball. I loved watching this. Like everything was so fun. And he had that great chat with Carl. Like I feel like they're really hitting their stride in their friendship again. Obviously, it's going to still be a little rocky, like down the future of things, but I feel like we're not in Code Red area. Okay, I'm going to pick Sam. Nice. Okay, I really liked her with Kory. I liked her flirting. I think she can keep up with him. I think it's so funny. She wants guys to spit in her mouth. I think that's hysterical. I hope we see it. That'd be so funny. No, I do not want him. I feel like he would put a shot in his mouth and then spit it and baby bird it. Yeah, hell yeah, I want it. Okay, I like how she went on the alcohol run, which is what we always want. She's getting her flirt on. Gabby's being a great wing woman, so Sam has made the right friend in the house. And yeah, Kory thought she was hot, and I think she looked hot too. And I love Sam. I think she's a great addition. And honestly, get everyone else out. Make Kory and Sam the summer house couple. Let's do it. These two, because as Gabby told us, if they break up, this is gonna be wild. It's gonna be fire. You know what? They'd go out. They would have a ball. After this, I'm gonna Google a triple Gemini plus a triple fire sign and learn. Does that work? Jesus. Is that what you Google? I don't know. But this was fun. No podcast by the people or whatever it's called, because we're doing this literally right after the show. But thank you for listening. Be sure to leave your thoughts if you still have them. Yeah, our $5 patrons, leave them and we'll read them at the top of next week's episode. So if you want to join our Patreon, patreon.com/vanderpasta, follow us on Instagram @vanderpasta. I think that's it. Yeah, thanks so much. Bye.